It's the Late Night Revolution live across the UK, and on this show we like to talk to big stars. I'm joined in the studio by two fascinating performers, and I'll explain why in a moment, who are starring currently at the Comedy Theatre in Steptoe and Son. Harry Dickman and Jake Nightingale, how are you?
Hello, Alex.
Well, thank you.
Nice to be here.
Guys, congratulations on this new show, because it's so much fun, and I went to see it only about a week ago, and my God, you two work hard, don't you?
We do, don't
I
we?
work harder than him. Because I've got more costume changes than him.
He has.
He spends most of the time sat down.
I do, that's very true. I sit down most of the time and I have one costume, but there are a hell of a lot of words to learn in the 2-hour show.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
I love the makeup in this show, because I'm trying to work out which one's Steptoe and which one's Son.
Steady on, mate.
I'm Steptoe, he's Son.
He's 67, I'm only 41.
Guys, you're so good in this, and you've really nailed the subtleties of Steptoe and Son. It's been interesting reading the reviews, and I've seen a couple, and you were telling me about a couple, basically, that went, oh, well, it's not very highbrow. It never really was it?
Really,
no,
no.
Absolutely
it's
not.
a TV show at the end of the day. It was what started, with this and Hancock, is what started the sitcom, basically.
Exactly.
The British tradition of sitcoms.
But the main thing is, Alex, 8 times a week, and they're laughing. They're laughing. That's what it's all about in the end, right?
Definitely, yeah. The audiences, whether they read the reviews or not, I don't know, but they're coming along and they're having a good night out.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
You see, I'm a gag man, and I love jokes. I'm amazed how many comedians don't do jokes.
I started off as a stand-up comic, and I still keep my hand in, and I don't tell jokes. I cannot tell a joke. It's impossible.
Really?
No, I can't do it. I hate it.
Yeah, you're so good at it in this, because there are punchlines.
Yeah, but the difference is the timing is inherent. Jake knows what I'm talking about. The timing is there, but it's Albert Steptoe. All right, doing it, you see. And I know his timing, and he knows mine. And it's almost like Eric and Ernie, God bless them, as a double act. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I just look into his eyes.
You get used to. We both get used to.
It's a feeling, Alec, difficult to put into words, really.
You need to remember, when you go and see this, it's a funny night out. You're not going to go for the big spectacular scenes, although the set actually is brilliantly made, and I was impressed by it. You're relying purely on the laughs.
It's the laughs, and also it's the relationship between the two characters, and there's some sadness there as well.
Yeah,
I think it has quite a lot of pathos as well, which I think
it does.
Without blowing our own trumpets, I think that's the thing that we've found that they also found in the original series, and I think that's what made it work originally. And thank God, I think it's what we've managed to serve up to the audience in this particular production.
One of my favourite scenes with Jake is this pathos scene where we're doing about the watch and whatever. You know, it's lovely to do.
Yeah.
But getting back to what you said, I have done many musicals, Alex. I was in 42nd Street at the Lane some years ago, multi-million pound. But it's
That's
different.
Drury Lane, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, Drury Lane. Oh, pedantic
Go on,
little. And
Get to the point.
it's a different world altogether. I love both.
As you say, the tragedy is so important in this, because really, Jake, you're just playing a guy who wants to be loved by his dad,
Yeah,
and a dad who's too manly to admit it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also a man who wants more than what he's been given, believes that he deserves better, and basically he's stuck. And the point about the situation that they're in is they're both completely codependent, and actually he can't leave. It's almost impossible for him to leave. You know what I mean? It's actually too painful, because they rely on each other in a sad, ugly kind of a way, you know.
The specific moves you make, and particularly in the way that you kind of hold yourself, Jake, is remarkable. And Harry, the way that you get that chin to almost dance is just remarkable.
Very well put, very well observed, Alex. Well, yeah, like Jake, we watch the DVDs during and before rehearsals. Every damn day we watch them, you know.
Every day?
Yeah, every single day. Particularly more with Jake. I think he watched them way before I did. I'm not sure.
I think I know the first and second series back to front.
Do you know what you just did then, by the way?
Yes.
You just scratched
Force
yourself.
of habit. Listeners, I've grown a little beard, by the way. Only a stubble. And yes, Alex, I get up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I go, like that, you see. And I go, what am I doing? You know.
Was it actually gurning? I mean, it's one step away,
he
isn't
did
it?
have, he's the expert. Did he have false teeth, Wilfred Bramble?
He had supposedly, he had false teeth. The character had false teeth. I don't know whether Wilfred Bramble actually did, But Alan was saying to me, Alan Simpson, who wrote the original, he's retired now, but he said to me that he's still got a set of Wilfrid Bramble's original teeth.
Has he?
At his house, yeah.
Oh,
That's all he's got left of him.
well, I paint my teeth with an enamel to make them yellow and blackish, you see.
Tell you, those teeth would be worth a few bob on eBay, wouldn't they?
They would, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Get a bit for that. All right, we're going to take a piece of music and then we'll be back with the stars of Steptoe and Son, which is on at the Comedy Theatre. Honestly, if you want a good night out where you're going to laugh, there aren't many shows. If you want a big production number, there's things like The Producers. But that's really the only one that'll really make you laugh. This has just got such clever writing. And you sit there and it's one of those where you can enjoy perhaps 20 minutes without a belly laugh, and suddenly there's just one gag, which is so beautifully crafted that you guys deliver between you, that just takes your breath away. It's really clever.
Oh, we try, Alex.
The reason I love having these guys in from Steptoe and Son at the Comedy Theatre is because I haven't had to pay for a cab.
That's true.
It's
We
only
can't
the
actually
second way.
afford it.
We're back with the stars of the show, and well, it's almost like watching the original, because you've mastered the contortions of the face and the kind of dark side, particularly of Steptoe's son with you, Jake, that evil side to him, which is quite nasty, which I don't think the dad has in a way. He's just a silly old fart, isn't he?
I am quite evil.
I could kill you for saying that.
I don't want to spoil the plot to anybody, any listeners, but I am quite evil.
I don't see that you're doing them out of hatred. You're doing that more out of wanting to keep your son.
It is.
Exactly.
Well, that's it.
I don't want to
you're
lose
right.
him. It's as simple as that.
And you'll do anything, as you prove in
which
this.
I do, as you know.
Could I take the liberty of asking you for a couple of seconds to do me just a couple of lines or your favourite bit from it? Because I'd love people to hear your voices and the way you do it.
Of this. Good God.
Yeah,
I mean, I
you've
don't.
caught us here.
I know you're actors. I mean, I'd hate you to be able to ad lib without a script. Am I pushing you too far here?
Well, no, I mean, I can talk in a way easily. I can talk like that all the time.
Do the top of the show.
Top of the show, go
I'll
on.
start off with me. He comes into the lounge. Hello, son.
Oh my God, it is you. What are you doing here? You're dead.
Yeah, I know that, if anyone does. More to the point is, what are you doing here? Come back to apologise, have you, for killing your old dad? Patricide, that is, Harold. Worst crime in the book. Biblical, that is.
Hang on, hold on. I'm not having a conversation with a ghost, am I?
Well, who are you having it with then? Your conscience? That'll do, won't it?
He really forgot his lines then.
I did, actually.
Is there any room for ad lib in this? Because presumably when you're in the comic frame of mind...
No, Jake's right, Alex. There is no
isn't.
room, because if we do, we're going to throw the meter, the rhythm of the written piece. You know.
It's very specific the way it's written.
There was one night I forgot a line, oh boy, and he knew damn well I'd forgotten. I look at my eyes.
Yeah.
The glazed look. I'm sure you understand, Alec.
Oh.
And then he came, he beautifully helped me out, you know. No, we can't improvise at all.
Not really, no.
No. And we don't need to, do we?
No.
We just don't need
The
to.
script
The
speaks for
lines
itself.
are there for us.
What about the audience, though, with a comedy? I don't know why when people see the word comedy, that means shout out as loud as you can and say whatever you like. Does this ever happen with your show?
Do you know, there was somebody in last night, I don't know what was going on, but she kept shouting something.
There was somebody in,
It was very bizarre.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple of times now, we've had people almost having a fight in the audience.
Yeah.
Over seats or something. I don't know what it was, but we've had some bizarre
And we get a lot of
occurrences.
strange emotions, sort of. I won't ruin the ending. The ending is quite a... And then they
Yeah, we have a lot of that.
huge intake of breath. How dare he?
People calling him names as
Yeah,
well.
they called me a basket one night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Saying it quieter doesn't mean it won't
No,
go
I
on
know
air.
it
All
doesn't.
right.
I'm just trying to be polite. I don't like bad language. That's why I don't watch Little Britain. Hate it.
You don't like that?
I do not.
Really?
No. I'm mostly into
I hate it when
Larry
he sits
David
on
in
the
Curb Your
fence, you know what I mean?
Enthusiasm
I love that.
and Seinfeld. My two favourites.
You guys both have had experience. I'd like to say, Harry, you've had a little bit more.
Yes, you could say that.
But you are the father, after all.
Indeed, sir, yes.
What have you enjoyed the most, Harry?
Well, I've done musicals mostly. I would possibly say the lead in the musical Pajama Game, which has just opened on Broadway, by the way. And it originally starred Max Wall. And Max Wall was my idol when I was at school. It's very unhealthy, all this, I know. But there you go. I didn't want sport. And I don't know. Some of the musicals I've done, I loved.
What about Scrooge? I mean, you were the understudy for
Anthony
for the big
Newley,
man.
many times. God bless him. And for Tommy Steele, who was never off. But don't misunderstand me. I admire anyone who's never misses a performance. You know. But
Frustrating for an understudy, though, isn't it?
Yes, Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
What about you, Jake?
I would say that probably working at the National a couple of years ago was a great moment for me, but also working at the RSC as well. I think the RSC now, for young actors leaving drama school or anybody who gets the opportunity, that is today's rep theatre. That's where we as actors learn our trade, really. And there's lots of actors who poo-poo the RSC, but I would say go and do one of the long stints there, and you learn. I learnt an enormous amount about being brave on stage and about, having to do the same thing over and over again. I think it's a really good way of learning your trade.
How do the RSC view something like this production where it's taken from TV, so there's already a problem? It's a rehash of something that was very popular. There's another problem. It's not original. There's another problem. How do they view
it's no different to what they're doing. I mean, Hamlet, how many times has that been done?
It's a good point.
7,000 times around the world, it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Theatre's theatre. Entertainment, Shakespeare wrote his plays to entertain people. He didn't write them for Cambridge and Oxbridge people, and the people came and they saw his plays. And in a way, me being at the RSC is my opportunity to claim back some of that stuff for the working classes, you know what I mean? And this is no different as far as I'm concerned. I'm an actor and I'm there entertaining people who come and pay their money every night. It's no different to being at the RSC as it is being at the comedy doing this.
Why I admire your two is because there's very little on stage most of the time, and you're happy to stand there. There are a couple of moments where you just do that thing, that soliloquy, looking at the back and just standing there reading lines. Is that not the scariest and most lonely place in the world?
No, because of my upbringing. I never wanted to be an actor. Never, ever. I wanted to be a stand-up comic. Really, I did. So having started that way, it's a natural thing in the world to go down the front cloth, shall we say, and do this soliloquy.
But I went to the Comedy Store on Saturday night.
Oh, did you?
It's still the most evil place when the crowd turns.
Yes, when the crowd turns. Yeah, but the Comedy Store is very different to doing comedy in a, shall we say, the old summer shows or whatever, or the pantomime, if you will. Yeah. Very different. I've done the Comedy Store. I was the first artist on here back in 1979. And I was, really. Alexi Sale was the MC, I remember that. Anyway, so it doesn't terrify me, no.
Well, congratulations to both of you. You certainly deserve it for this production. It's Steptoe and Son. It's on at the Comedy Theatre just off Leicester Square, which is perfect for people who are passing, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you guys for coming in. We've got Harry Dickman, who is a legend in show business and has the most marvellous chin. And also to Jake Nightingale, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks, Alex. I enjoyed it. Thanks.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.